G'day guys, Mark here. Welcome back to the On Empire. Now in this episode, it is going to be something a little bit different. We're not in the shed. We're not working on cars today. And in fact, it's not even Saturday when a video would usually be going out. But instead, we are on the air with Drive with Dixon, Charlie's radio show, where we talk everything cars. This was actually aired a couple of weeks ago on the radio, but it's now going to be on here so you guys can see it if you've missed it, which likely you have. So it's been a stupidly busy week, so I'm running late, so that's why this is released on a Sunday, hopefully. And we're going to be talking everything cars, and we're going to be talking the Woodside Airstrip meet. For those of you who in Adelaide who have been to the last couple, particularly the last one, it was insanely large. So we have another one coming up really soon. So we're going to talk about that and all things cars. So sit back and enjoy.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA, this is Drivin with Dixon.
That it is, Drivin with Dixon, Wednesday nights here on 5AA. All thanks to Louver House, the leaders in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof. Sam Datto alongside Charlie. And Charlie, once again, we're joined by a very special guest.
Yes, we are. We have Mark from the On Empire here, so thanks for joining us, mate. Now, we thought we'd get Mark in and just ask him what's been going on, because he's going to be involved in the Woodside Airstrip meet again around the 10th or 11th of May. So, but what's been going on, mate? You've been stepping in and out of the car scene of late because of your other little ventures that you've got going on.
Yep.
And ventures as in building houses and building Airbnbs.
Yeah, well, I think, thanks for having me back. Obviously, I didn't mess up the first time. At the time, me and the partner were building an Airbnb, and then now that's been running for a bit of a year, and we've started to do renos on another one, and then also building a home for us to live in.
You're building it, aren't you?
I'm building it, yes.
Yes, I went and checked it out maybe a month or so ago, and it's pretty special, and he's got a good spot up there as well, and just got a bit more land, and so it's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's starting to look like a house. But yeah, obviously the plan is to get the ball rolling on that and then get back in the car stuff a bit more. But I'm trying to pick up the pieces again this year. Last year was a bit of a quiet one.
Yeah.
But this year we're sort of putting out videos every week again, and obviously on the YouTube channel where we try and do what we've got to do. So.
Well, that's good. And you drove in today. What did you drive in, your LTD?
Yeah, drove in the LTD, blew the dust off that for the first time in, I don't know, it's literally just been parked on the carport. So hosed that off and drove that in, and then, we couldn't pay for our tickets out front.
We couldn't. So there's something going on, so I had to scan, and so Mark left a note. I didn't. So hopefully if they come down, I'll be chasing them down. That'll be something that we can film later if that happens. So
if we get a ticket, the bird that was walking around with a little ticketing machine,
we'll find her.
Yeah, hopefully she's listening, and it's genuine. I got photos on my phone.
Yes, exactly. But all right. Well, talk us through what sort of cars you got going at the minute, and what are the main ones that you're focusing on.
So I'm trying. I think I spoke about this last time, and I'm not that successful. Trying to thin out the herd, basically trying to concentrate on some stuff that I genuinely want to build and keep. So at the moment, me and my partner are working on a Bronco. She picked up. It's just like a cool old patina Bronco. She dragged out of the back streets of the northern suburbs, and it's looking pretty rough, but it's going to be a really cool car, 351 in it, and all the good stuff. So that would be a cool beater.
That's a full drive and stuff like that.
Full drive, 351, C6, all the good stuff that Bronco has. I've never had one or even driven in one, but they just look so cool.
They do.
So,
yes.
And we got the cab sliders on the side, so we can throw the dogs in the back.
Perfect.
They can hang their head out the window, and we don't have to worry about it getting dirty. We might check out some dirt roads and I'm not a full drive guy, but I think that maybe we might like to check out some dirt roads.
That might be your in to some four-wheel drive stuff.
Maybe have to get a snorkel and start. I don't know, make a lot of noise.
Well, that's good. And so where you found that one up north? Well, not up north, I should say, just north. Adelaide North.
North with an F.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have seen that. It's a decent truck. And
yeah, it's pretty cool.
They're getting harder and harder to find those ones.
Broncos
as well.
have a massive following. Hey, like
They do.
Aren't Broncos? Isn't a Bronco what OJ ran away in?
Oh yeah,
That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
that's the
Yeah.
only reason he wants that.
Exactly.
Because it's a good getaway truck.
cannot get away with it.
Yeah.
The glove doesn't fit. Yeah, so that's on the go. We've got a small block Chrysler build happening for our Dodge Dart.
Yep.
Basically American two-door Valiant, which is what we know as a Valiant, but in America.
Yeah,
two-door
and was
Dart.
that your latest video that you just dropped?
Yep. So we've been doing. I'm doing a quote unquote budget small block build on that. But we're starting to throw some sort of fun parts at it, like alloy heads and stuff.
Yeah,
we went
nice.
down to see the boys at Bullet Race
I
Engineering.
didn't see that.
Yeah, we just to sort of showcase what they do as well.
Yeah, cool.
And they're helping me sort of basically make sure everything's going to work and not go bang when I try and turn the thing over for the first time. Because I don't think people realise how involved engine stuff is. So you just choke inside, man. Like, these dudes are absolute wizards. Like, it's the science involved. It is unbelievable.
And it's you think you can just sort of like, oh, that goes there, but it's like it's putting the stuff in, checking the clearances, like putting it all together, pulling it all apart, putting it back together, and then making sure it's all sweet, and then all the intricate little bits that go together. It's until you've been to a machine shop and seen what actually goes through, what actually happens in those sort of big engine building shops. It's pretty incredible to see what they do.
And it's like surgically clean, like, and the tolerances are like, thinner than like half a strand of hair. Like,
exactly.
And if you got it wrong, like, things don't work.
They don't work. No, absolutely not.
So yeah, we've got a lot on the go, but
yeah, well, that's good. That's what you want, and you always got to keep busy. But it's good to see you getting back into the car stuff. Which
I'm
is
trying
good.
to push it.
Yeah,
We've built too much so far. People seem to enjoy what we do with the. I think it helps people get enthused about their own car. I'm sure you get it all the time. The amount of people that message you being like, "Hey man, like I watched your video and then I went out and started working on the car in the garage, which was getting neglected."
Yeah.
And it's like that's what we do as well. I jump on and watch a YouTube video on someone else doing something cool. And you're like, "Oh god damn, what am I doing?" And then you go out and get some stuff done. So
well, that's it. And now that I'm actually doing more videos where I'm actually getting my hands dirty, which is what I'm sort of wanted to do this whole time. But the sort of events and everything else that I've sort of gone through, it sort of helps me get to so I can build this up and build the cars and do that. So I'm hands and knees deep into the Hilux, and then just started pulling apart their XR6 Turbo, which actually you've got one of them as well. So yours is a bit better. But yeah, so getting your hands dirty and like, yeah, when you say watch another videos, 100%. I end up watching, a bunch of other videos of people working on their cars and going, oh, righto. And now I've got the shed at home as well. I've just put the Hilux up there so I can get my hands dirty up there and not leave. Is basically the dream. So now talk to us about your green Sandman that you've got going at the moment. That one sort of looks pretty close to being finished, and it looks like it's pretty
a
clean.
cool car. So a lot of people will see a bit of my content and think that I might be a Ford guy or a Mopar guy, but I genuinely like a bit of all sorts. But obviously you start to lean towards what you grew up in or what you can relate to. But who doesn't like a super obnoxiously bright muscle car, regardless of what factory it come out of?
Yeah.
And I ended up doing a swap on a Statesman. Actually, I bought a Statesman, done a tidy up, and I wanted to sell it. And it was the first car I've ever swapped because I'm not sort of super into swaps. But someone wanted to swap me with this half-built WBU, and I looked at it and it was already green. I thought, oh, this could be something cool. So done the conversion on the front end to turn it into an earlier model.
As you do with a WB.
Yeah, you change the WB out of it and make it earlier. I don't even know what model the front end is, but basically, HJ to XQ,
whatever they are.
We've done some paint panel down at Jake's Chop Shop. That's on the channel as well. And basically started rebuilding it to be sort of a sort of pretty much a replica with the right wheels and the right stripes and all sort of stuff. It's just a 253, but awesome cruiser for someone, and that's actually sold before I even finished it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, one of my members on my channel, I just done a bit of a walk around behind the scenes video, and someone had seen it and said, "What's the go with the Sandman?" We spoke a while back, and I never followed up, but I'm keen on it. And I'm like, yeah, you can have it unfinished, and we settled on a price, and he dropped a deposit straight away. So there'll be a video of me just basically assembling the car, like just a few basics, just so I can pretty much go on the truck. It's a driver, but I haven't actually done any road driving. And then that will go on the truck, and it's away, because as much as it would have been cool to cruise that around,
it's better to have the money in the bank, right?
You've got to move on these things when someone wants it.
As I found out with Loretta. So
and that went, and then you're sort of thinking, seller's remorse for a little bit.
Well, that's it. But I've got plenty more at the moment. I'm trying to keep it to 4 cars and keep those 4 cars and get them on the road. So 4.
That's the dream.
This bloke's got like 40.
Yeah,
so
literally.
I've got 5 if I count the F truck that's sitting at your place.
True.
So
I try to claim it. Then I think you want to claim it back sometimes when it suits you.
Yeah,
and then sometimes you're like, nah, it's too rough. Oh, you can.
Yeah, well, Mark can actually have that, because it's got there's a shit ton of bloody I shouldn't swear, but there's a heap of parts and stuff in that as well, doors and all sorts of. They're probably all junk. But
they're pretty odds and ends, but yeah, that dates right back to our very first video together, which is like 5 years ago now. I know. 4 or 5 years. That was a cool video. Rescuing these trucks from
3 trucks
out in the Barossa, and
I've only got 1 left. So, but Mark's got 1 left anyway.
And on that note, we will take a quick break right now. All thanks to Louver House. We'll be back shortly. Stick around. Yes, welcome back. Wednesday nights here on 5AA. All thanks to Louver House. Charlie, Mark stuck around.
He did. He's hanging around, that's for sure. So we touched on basically around our first video together, which was I bought 3 bump side F trucks. So from 67 to 72. So, and 2 had engines in them, and 1 was a roller, and one was a 300 cube, which is the only one we've still got, which is
well, they call it the Canadian
6-cylinder. So it's a 300 cube with a 3-speed top loader, wasn't it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and that one actually ran really well when we
Is that the one we tried to drive?
That's the one I tried to drive.
And it was steaming on the side of the road?
Yeah, steaming on the side of the road.
Sounds like it ran real good.
We went to this paddock basically on the sort of out towards the Barossa, and the guy who had him, he works at he was at the TAFE or something like that, and so we ended up like looking at him and then working out a deal, and then basically just said let's see if we can get these going, and then try and drive them, and then try to drive one back. So we had a trailer, so we put one car on the trailer. Which was the red one, I reckon, or one of them. And then, anyway, then we then driving down the road, and brakes barely worked. Had Mark's tray plate on, and then next minute just spewing out water and steaming on the side of the road, and Mark's in the Hilux towing the other one. And then we had to like leave it on the side of the road, go, then come back.
And you were going on radio that night as well. Do you remember? You were running late, and then they're like, "Where have you been?" You're like, "Oh, we're stuck in the Barossa, towing around shit boxes." That was
another radio station. I don't think we don't need to mention that.
I don't think they're around anymore.
But yeah, so that was our first video, and then we had like a series of those videos where basically getting the red one had a 302 in it, I think.
Yep,
302 with a C4. Basically got that going. And then just started doing donuts in Mark's paddock.
That was good fun.
Took it for a drive, and ended up selling that one for what I paid for all 4 of them. So, which was pretty good. And then I spent a shit ton of money on one of them, and then sold it as an unfinished project after buying 2 cars and spending money on a rack and pin steering that was just junk. And
you got shafted.
I got shafted big time. Jace did the because I had a Coyote with a 6-speed in it, and Jace did all that engine mounting and all that sort of stuff. So that was all killer, but just the rack and pin. And when I went to get it engineered, engineer was like, you need to redo that, and I was like, that was 10 grand. So
It killed it for you.
oh, it did.
Yeah.
It ruined it. And
Oh,
like,
we've all been there.
it would have been such a good thing because I had Classic Connect do the bodywork on the cab.
Oh,
and
they went.
they went ham,
They
and
did elite work.
they did amazing job on the doors, on all the guards and everything like that. So it was basically, not far off, but I was just so dirty with it because of what I spent there. But back then I could have imported a chassis with brakes, fuel system, engine mounts, everything for like 16, 20 grand. That was before it all went gangbusters.
Yeah.
And I could have got that over and just used the rego that was on it and drove it and would have had that truck. But anyway, hindsight's 2020, right?
But have you learnt, Charlie?
No, absolutely not. Because I just continue to do the same shit.
But you were going to put they call it a Miami because it's supercharged?
Yeah,
But
so
it's
the
essentially
Miami.
it's a Coyote.
So it's a Coyote with
It's a 5 litre
with a
Ford.
so it's a
overhead.
5 litre. It was the 5 litre that I bought a repairable ride-off Ute, GS Ute, that I was driving around for a bit, which is I should have just kept that together and sold
Yeah, that was a good car.
that was a good car, and I
was
cut that up.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we took that to the Tail and Bend as well and done
Yeah.
a speed off the street
Yeah,
at one time as well. That was
we
cool.
did some laps around the bend in that,
And
and
the Chinese tyres and the
oh.
shuddering rotors. It was shocking. But the thing was power sliding onto the main straight like
Yeah.
160, and it went to go over like 120 or something.
Yeah, they're like,
It was
just
good
keep it
fun.
under 160, and then next minute you hear this supercharged Ute go like, whoa! And
So
then,
good.
and then when you're trying to stop, you had sparks flying off the brakes. So
Actually, speaking of the Miami and the Coyote, didn't Ford just announce that they're going to keep running the Mustang, the Monaro?
the Monaro,
They're
exactly.
going to keep running the Mustang. They don't care about all this
I
green
think so.
nonsense.
Well, it's the exact same thing with Dodge.
They're running they're
gonna-
reopening the Hemi plant. How sick!
which is killer. So I think the Donald Trump stuff that's come in, where he's just like he wants to. I'm pretty sure it seems like he just wants to bring manufacturing back to the States.
He wants to make V8s great again.
He wants to make V8s great again, and it's what we love to hear
Make
as well.
V8s great.
So, because you can't beat one, like you just can't beat the V8. So, yeah, and I saw Cummins as well has brought out a petrol inline six to compete with
Wow.
with their diesel to bring their sort of emissions down or whatever like that. But it's going to have similar power to what
Yeah, wow.
diesel have, and the tuning capabilities are going to be insane because they're going to be such strong motors, inline sixes
There's going to be conversions everywhere.
everywhere. So this is what we love to hear as motorheads. You hear of the V8 coming back.
Yep.
Well, not that it's gone anywhere, but it looked like it was. And
It was
then
on life support.
it was. But then also hearing about the F1 stuff where they're looking to bring back the V10.
Oh, we need that noise back.
I know.
And that
So-
noise.
Which is, I haven't been to F1 yet. And if they bring that back, I'm definitely going to go.
I would be the same.
It would just like, it would just,
So what? I'm not an F1 guy.
Yeah.
What's the era of F1 V10?
Early mid 2000s.
yeah.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
like just a
W-
screaming.
and older.
Yeah.
Then they went to so they were V12s at the end of the 90s, and the V10s.
V10.
V10s were the
Right.
sweet sounding ones.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
went to
The
F1
V8s
once
are still great.
when the last F1 in Adelaide. My dad took me,
Yeah.
and I remember sitting.
That probably would have been
I
it
can't
then.
remember
What was the last year?
94, so
There you go.
probably at the start of them, yeah.
Mm.
94.
Yeah.
I was a young whippersnapper then.
I was only 4.
Yeah. What the hell?
But that's yeah, so I think it's the car industry is really good, and especially like we have Peter Malinowskis who's doing all these events and everything now as well at the moment, and I was sitting at the footy with him and having a chin wag.
You're
And
going to get our PD onto some of these events we're trying to do.
I know. So
I know
which
you-
I was talking to him about Drag Challenge and a bunch of events
Charlie
that I'm
and
sort of
Pete.
running. Yeah, you should have seen I was sitting next to her. Dad sent me a photo. They flicked it on the screen. It's me, Peter, and Koshy.
So it's Party Charlie
Yeah.
and Party Pete.
Well, that's it. So we're sitting there and having a good old chin wag, and he's just such a good lad, good normal bloke,
Good
So,
young lad.
good young lad.
You good young whippersnapper,
So-
the Premier.
Yeah, it's no, it was good to chat. He's very interested in the motorsport industry, and I was like, mate, you've just knocked it out of the park, and I think we're leading the way in motorsport in Australia, and he's keen to do more. So going to definitely be knocking on that door regularly.
We have these facilities that we need to use. The
I know.
bend,
Exactly.
needs to get used.
And I said, well, what do you reckon? We throw you in the car at the Dragway. He goes, mate, I would love that.
Got to get him on the show one day.
Got to get him on the show. Yes, that's another one. So
I'm sure he's listening.
yeah,
Come
of
in
course.
Next week.
I'll we'll clip this, and so Peter, we got to get you on the show. We got to get you in the Monaro to have a run down the quarter mile. I'm sure. I don't know if it's a Secret Service or whatever they do here.
We'll black out the windows.
We'll throw you down the track, mate. I'm sure the band will be all down for it. We'll give you a private day. We'll put you through a bunch of different cars. So
he's not busy or anything. Just got the state to run.
No, he's fine. He can make his own time. That's what you do.
It doesn't take long. It's an 8-second car.
Exactly right. All right, now, just to wrap up, we're going to be touching on the Woodside event that we have coming up. Now, I actually rang Terry.
Hey,
Trev. Let's call him Terry. It's Trev from Woodside. So I rang him, and he's going to be away, but he said it is free,
available.
Available, and he did say that he said, oh, maybe you can do it in I said, I'm spewing, I'll be missing it. Maybe you can do another one in October, November. And I said, hey, when it's all green and all nice, that'll be perfect. So we could do a second one, I reckon, depending on how this one goes again. But what are you going to bring, you reckon?
Oh, dude.
It's too far out?
Come on, man. Actually, you know what? I might try and bring the Bronco so I can throw my merch in the back. Last time we done the event, people come out, supported us. It was unbelievable.
It was.
People lining up for merch, mostly for you. Few stragglers come over to my merch desk. But people that put their hand in their pocket and want to wear what we're putting out to help support us, I can't say how much it means to us.
Oh, absolutely.
And you see the T-shirts at car shows and stuff. It's massive. It helps us do this stuff.
Well, do what we sort of love,
which makes me think do we need to be a bit more proactive this time and actually put it out there that we actually need a bit of a hand with putting this event on in regard to directing some traffic and stuff, because last time it was insane.
Yeah, it was, and we're sort of going down the path of sort of looking for some volunteers to help us sort of direct some people in. I was speaking to Trev yesterday and getting all 3 gates open, so we have 3 points of entry, so we can sort of just sling people in as quick as possible. But like I said previously, it is going to be hopefully a donation on the gate. It's not going to be a register and ticket, because we know you guys don't like doing that, and you don't do it. So then when you come in, it's chaos. But we're going to have the Children's Heart Foundation who are going to be cooking for us again. I think that's supported by Drake's as well, so that's massive. I spoke to Peter Stevens today as well. They're going to have he wants to come up, bring up some of the Starks and a few other different bikes as well. The new Triumph, which is Triumph dirt bike, which is cool. TKD will be up there as well. I'll try to get Mount Barker forward there. Zagami. We'll have some activations, hopefully through a bunch of other sort of brands that are sort of have been coming along to our events. Penrite, I'm going to be touching base with them as well for some giveaways. We'll be doing giveaways as well. I'm not sure we'll be able to do the helicopter again. I think we'll try and keep the dust down this time.
That was cool, though.
It was very, very
cool.
And
I didn't go on it, so I'm pretty dirty on that.
So, yeah, I mean, we've got... so it's going to be a massive event again, and we want to try and get some people that can help out on the gates, and also try and get some donations going in for the Kids Foundation, and we'll be taking that sort of stuff on the gate.
Nice. That's us done for the week. Mark, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. All thanks to Louver House, the leaders in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof. Charlie, we'll see you here same time next week, and stick around. Coming up after 7 o'clock, Leith Forest to take you through the night.